put forth through the ministry I do. And the biggest ministry I'm doing at the present is Unity of Bonaire. It's a beautiful ministry of love, and committed to living and expressing unconditional love and acceptance. It's a beautiful church with a 2-acre garden, meditation garden that the whole community uses. We keep it open sunrise to sunset. And Bonaire is on the south side of the James River from Richmond. It used to be the resort area near Richmond, and people would take the train from Richmond or from other areas of Virginia to Bonaire to enjoy the good air of the area, the fresh air of the area. So it's good to be coming to you from that place. I'm actually in North Chesterfield, ironically, where there is good air. This area is also known for its tobacco plants and its cigarette production in the past. So if you all remember Chesterfields, how many remember Chesterfields? Yep. So historically, there are old tobacco factories throughout Richmond, which have now been converted into lofts for businesses and living spaces. So things continue to evolve and change. So it's delightful to be with you here today. I'm going to start up the PowerPoint in just a bit, but I want to introduce you to some elements that I have with me. One is a candle. I pulled out my Christmassy candle for our time together. And my talk today is Star Bright. It's following your inner light. And so we're going to symbolize that inner light right now. In a way, this is my way of lighting the first Advent candle. While they're lighting the Advent candles at Unity of Bonaire this morning, our licensed Unity teacher is giving the talk. But here is the light that shines for you, the light that represents the light in you and all of the stars. In fact, back in the deep winter, the midwinter, it was fire and candles that represented the light of the stars for people. So I'm going to have that lit, see if I can put it back to where it's in view. Yep, there it is. Okay, in view in the background. I'm also going to be leading a meditation in a little bit. I'm going to give a little foreground background and then lead you through a meditation experience. And I'm going to be using my flute here. And this is a Navajo flute. I just play with it. I was a music major in college with piano and voice. And so I just play with things musically here and there. So thank you for allowing me to play with my flute today for meditation. And the third thing, I want you to know that I'm not alone here. While my husband is at church doing his technical work that he does for them, I do have some company, and it is my cat. Let's see if I can get her on here. Can you see her? Yep, she's stretched out in the sun. There she is. Anyway, that is Sophia. So Sophia, if she wakes up, she may come across the screen or try to play or something like that. So just to let you know, just to give you a heads up. And I am just thrilled to be with you. I've been a Unity minister for going on 38 years, going on 38 years. I'm a third generation, and I was the chairperson of biblical studies out at Unity Village for a number of years. And this is my third church ministry, and I'm going back into a writing and workshop ministry, which is my real calling. It's really the calling of my heart. It's my true north. is the writing and workshop ministry. So I have made a decision, a choice to follow that into the future. And what I want to talk with you today is, what is your true north? What is calling you? What is the light in your heart that's calling you? Of course, 2020 has been an unusual year. We wouldn't be with each other in this way if it hadn't been. But of course, it opens up possibilities, because now, even when we all come back together in personal community, we can still bring in people in this way without physically bringing them in, which, we're discovering all kinds of new and wonderful ways as ministries, as communities, as spiritual communities, to bring people in. But 2020 has been, let's just say, a challenging year. We've known people who've lost people to COVID. We haven't had any direct cases in our congregation, blessings. We do meet in person and online in some of our activities, but we keep our distance. We wear our masks, and we still offer the online presence. And we've been very, very blessed and very fortunate. And we just hold that healing light. We just hold that sense of healing, of comfort and peace for all people who have lost loved ones, and of healing for those who have this experience. Some of our young people who went to college this year have had it. They got it in college. And so we keep our prayers constantly going for that healing process. In fact, there was an article in the Omaha Dispatch that said, this November, we have to be very mindful of how we celebrate our Thanksgiving. We have to be aware not to spread the disease to our relatives, and we have to keep our distances. And we know it's been like this since March, and it's been a long haul, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because vaccine trials are beginning. And that article was written for the Omaha Dispatch in 1918. So, the historian at the History Museum in Omaha says, so when people tell me these are unprecedented times, I say, no, they aren't. No, they are not. We as a humanity have been through these kind of things before. And what it is that keeps us going is our inner calling. It's our calling to be together. Look at how we're doing it. Look at what we do. We go on Zoom just so, because connection is our call. Connection is our call. It's a form, it's a manifestation of the divine love of which we are all made. And so we celebrate that love going into this season. We look to divine love in our hearts and the light of what it has to share with us. And now I'm going to begin my slide presentation here, sharing the screen, and going to, if you give me a moment while I get to the correct place with it. Yep, I'm going to back it up. There we go. And let's see. Slideshow. Yeah, okay. From beginning. There we go. Can everybody see that well? Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Great. Terrific. So this is Starbright, Finding Your True North. And I chose a Native American pattern for this. As you can see, the star with its 4 directions there in the blue. I chose a Native American pattern for this because the Native Americans, the indigenous people, the first peoples, were very, very keen, had a very keen sense of the universe around them. And they were very aware of a certain star that held its place in the sky while all of the other stars rotated around it, while all others moved around it. And that star is what we have come to call in Western society the Stella Polaris, which literally means the polar star or the North Star. The reason it holds its place is because it is located directly, right now, directly over our North Pole, and has been that way for hundreds of years. A few hundred more years, and it's going to shift off of that center a little bit. And if you're alive at that time, you will, in whatever body you're in, if you're alive at that time, you will see it off center a little bit and moving, just rotating around like an empty space. But right now, it does not move. Polaris does not move. And certain cool things about Polaris. One is if you want to visit the Polaris solar system, you go to our sun, and then you hang a left and you travel for about 433 light years to get to Polaris. And what you will find there is a trinary system. There are actually 3 polar stars. That's why it can show up so brightly in the sky, because there are 2 other stars that in spatial distance are relatively close, and they orbit around in the same form, so they are a singular star system. So there's Polaris A, which is the largest one, which is most visible to us, but right behind it are the lights of Polaris AB and Polaris B. So when we get the light of the North Star, we are getting the light of 3 stars. It's been a navigational guide for centuries because it doesn't move, and it gives you the true north. This is where the term comes from. When you face Polaris, when you are facing Polaris, if you extend your left hand, you are pointing east. If you extend your right arm, you are directly east. If you extend your right arm, or your left arm, sorry, the other left. If you extend your right arm, you are pointing east. If you extend your left arm, you are pointing west, directly west. Directly behind you is south. So you know your directions. It is considered more accurate than a compass to be able to find Polaris in the sky. And Polaris, for those of you who don't know, is the last star in the handle of the Little Dipper, and the Big Dipper points to it. The corner star on the Big Dipper points to it. So it should be relatively easy to find in the sky at night. The Pawnee of the plains. Now we have our European navigators who used it on the ocean. The Pawnee used it on the ocean of grass, on the sea of grass, to find their way. They called it the star that does not walk around. And it was the chief god of all the stars that moved around it. And so because it guided all of the gods of the universe, it guided them as well. And the Navajo of the Southwest, it is believed that some of the greatest structures left by the Southwestern Puebloan and Navajo Indians were based on the alignment with the sun and the moon and the stars. So they have a structure down in Chaco Canyon, a large structure that mirrors the North Star and its 4 directions. And the Navajo people have been known to call it the central fire, or Nahucos Bico. And Nahucos is north, and Bico means light or fire. So the central fire is the North Star for the Navajo, and around it, the closest constellations that circulate around it are the Big Dipper and Cassiopeia. And the Navajos see the Big Dipper as the great man in the sky, and Cassiopeia is the great woman in the sky. And they move around the North Star in perfect harmony. Which brings us to our divine relationship with the whole universe. And here's what Wayne Dyer, well, let me go back and get his book. Some of you may be familiar with this book. It's a wonderful book by Wayne Dyer. Let me hold it up a little more. There we go. 10 Secrets for Success and Inner Peace, Wayne Dyer. And in that he says, the world you live in is an intelligent system in which every moving part is coordinated by every other moving part. There's a universal life force that supports and orchestrates everything. It all works together in perfect harmony. You are one of those moving parts. You showed up here in the body you inhabit, precisely on time. Your body will leave here with the same precision. You're an essential piece of a complex system. Deepak Chopra tells us that we are a wiggle in the energy of the universe, but that our being goes way beyond the body to fill the whole universe. So we are an essential part of this dancing system. The Navajos felt that the stars were a reflection of life itself, and or life was a reflection of the cosmos, however you wish to call it. So they would have these houses that they called kivas, where they would have a central fire, and it was in that central fire that life was given new birth and new awareness. In the darkest months, these fires were very, very important, reminding us that the universe always comes back to the light. So we've had some pretty difficult times that we've been through as a humanity. And I don't know if any of you have been challenged by them in any way, shape, or form. And we've had a whole menu of things that have challenged who we are and called us up higher. We've had the pandemic and the financial challenges that have come from that. We've had social upheaval as our society is seeking that balance of equanimity and equality for all people and things. And we've had the political divisions. All of these we have had to contend with in the wonderful year of 2020. Wow. So what does that mean to us? What does that mean to us? We can take any challenge in life, anything that is happening to us. If we know our true north, we can find the blessing and move forward with it. We can seek out the seed of good in it. The Apostle Paul said, in all things give thanks. The important point is he didn't say for all things give thanks. He said in all things give thanks. Look for what there is to be grateful for within whatever is happening. Look for the seed of the blessing in each challenge. The challenge of COVID has connected us at a deeper level, at a deeper spiritual level. We are more connected through internet We miss the hugs. I don't know about you, but I miss the hugs. And I miss the touch and the holding of hands and the things we can do with each other. And I look forward to those coming again. But I think we are learning at a deeper level how to be in touch with each other in ways that go beyond the physical in this time. And we are learning the value of each other. This is why we're struggling. We're learning the value and where it's been held back in our society, and we're seeking to bring up a greater value for everyone and a greater equality that we all share. We're finding ourselves going deeper into our humanity through the challenges that have been given. And it is all because we have a true north, a North Star. We have a Polaris in our hearts guiding our way. So today we're asking, what is your Polaris? What is your North Star? Don Quixote went and tilted with emails in Man of La Mancha to reach the impossible star. And the wise men followed probably what was a comet, but they followed the stars to their destination of finding that spiritual center, that spiritual place where there was new birth and new life. So where is the central fire that leads you through your life? Khalil Gibran said, when you are born, your work is placed in your heart. Your work is placed in your heart. And since today, in being aware that it's the first Sunday of Advent, it's the Sunday of faith and hope. To have faith in who you are and hope for your future is to follow the calling of your heart. And so, I had all these wonderful little slides here. There's Wayne Dyer's quote. And there we are standing as part of the universe. And I'm going to share another quote from Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer, okay, so what is it that keeps us from following our true north? It is fear. And here's what Wayne Dyer has to say about fear. He says, what we often fear is failure. We often fear being a failure when following our heart's call, our inner music, our true north. And here's what he says about that. No one ever fails at anything. Everything you do produces a result. If you're trying to learn how to catch a football and someone throws it to you and you drop it, you haven't failed. You simply produced a result. The real question is what you do with the results that you produce. Do you leave and moan about being a football failure? Or do you say, throw it again until ultimately you're catching footballs? So you noticed I put a little girl in the illustration of catching a football. And of course, today we are celebrating, let me check her name, Sarah Fuller of Vanderbilt University, who is the first female to play on a college basketball team. I mean, not basketball, but football team. It's what it really, there is no such thing as failure. There is just the next step to reaching our true north. Just the next step and the next step. And sometimes we have to learn what not to do before we can learn what to do. Yesterday, I was hanging lights on the back porch for Christmas. I went through 3 strings of lights before I we had one hanging there and a third of it was out. So I took it down and put up another one. Now, it was kind of silly that I didn't test these lights ahead of time, but I put up a new one that not new, but I put up another one that I just knew would work because it worked last year. Plugged it in, a third of it was out. Okay, took it down, put up another one, plugged it in, a third of it was out. And I know that all of this is part of finding the right light string. So whatever your light string is, whatever it is you're going for, whatever goal, however it is, whatever football you have to catch, stay courageous in your heart about it. Stay faithful and hopeful in your heart about it. And keep on keeping on. Just keep on keeping on. So we're going to find our true north by moving into a time of meditation here momentarily. And the way I will be doing that is I will do a little verbal lead in to a period of silence. Keeping my eye on the time here. To a period of silence. And then I will bring you out with a flute. And we're going to do that twice. The first time we are going to the North Star visually and experientially that dwells in our hearts. Then the first peoples knew that the star was the star that all the directions circled around. So we're going to include all the directions of the first peoples are aware of in that part. And then the second time you're led into the silence, there will be questions for you to contemplate and take into the silence. And then again, we'll come out with the flute and close our time together. So let's take a deep breath right now. And close your eyes. And use your imagination. Use your power of visualization in this meditation. And if you're not a visioning person, then just feel the experience. Feel the warmth and radiance of the light on which we are going to touch. Take another deep breath. Focus your thoughts on your heart. It is said that Polaris is a supergiant 50 times larger and brighter than the sun. Inside you is a light that is brighter than 10,000 suns. See this light in your heart right now. It is the light of wisdom, the light of love, the light of peace. Even when you are not aware of it, it is guiding and directing you. Even in the difficult times where you feel you have failed, it is transforming that failure into the next step of deeper and greater awareness of who you really are. Let that light shine in your heart. Now imagine its beams, its rays going up and down, up to the crown of your head and out into the universe, down through the soles of your feet to connect you with the earth. So that where the universe and the earth meet is in you, in your heart. Now envision two more beams of light, one reaching directly behind you, lighting up all that has brought you up to here. All of the ancestors, all of your life experiences that have brought you to this moment in time. And one beam of light goes before you. That is the beam of your dreams. These dreams come from the spirit world within. Know that they have a greater reality than anything of the material realm, and they keep calling you to bring into material reality their fulfillment. And now there are two more beams of light. One reaches out of your right side as though you are outstretching your right arm to the east. It is the place of new beginnings. You stand fresh and ready to start anew, to refresh and renew your dreams. And the other beam is reaching like your left arm out to the west. It is your ability to release all that you no longer need and watch it set forever like the sun, going down just before the stars come out. And just be still, dwelling on the light on your heart, the light that is within your heart and the 6 directions that it touches. And know that it is now making you whole, giving you the ability to be who you truly are. And for a silent moment, be in that light. And now, as you remain in this meditative state, let the light in your heart bring the response, the perfect response to these questions. If you do not receive it directly now, you're not meant to. You can simply know it will show up in the right way at the right time. But if you do receive it, hold the answer in your heart. And know who you are here to be and what you are here to do. And the first question is, who am I? Let the star in your heart, let the light in your heart answer that. That is a simple answer. It's not long and complex. It is a simple statement. If you could say it in one word or a brief phrase, that is the simplicity of spiritual wisdom. Who am I? The second question, how can I express who I am right here and right now? This is a question for every moment of our lives. How can I express who I am right here and right now? And the third question, how will who I am live beyond my time here on earth? What gift of my whole self can I give to this world that lives beyond my physical body? Through others, as part of who they've become, and as a sense of feeling that there is greater love, greater peace, because I have walked the earth. How will who I am live beyond my time here on earth? I'll read these questions again and then take them into the silence to let the answers come from your heart. Who am I? How can I express who I am right here and right now? And how will who I am live beyond my time here on earth? And once again, take a deep breath. And feel the radiant light moving through every part of your body and being, moving forth into the environment immediately surrounding you, out